Welcome back. Welcome back to one more round of Select Live here on the Lab Video Game TV Live. Shout out to all my viewers on Twitch, on TikTok, and YouTube. I had a bit of a rough start today, but hey, at least I started, you know. A wise man once said, if you're going through hell, keep going. So yeah, today I'll be going through this indie title called Echoes from Ciudadela. This is a pretty new one actually. Set for release on the 23rd of July 2026 by developer and publisher Kronos Interactive. I want to say a special shout out to Starfall PR for hooking a brother up with the Steam key. Greatly appreciated. I'm going to be running through this one for about an hour or so today, and we'll see how far we get. You know, it's narrative driven, puzzle based. Apparently it's pretty heavy on the puzzles, so if you see me get stumped at some point, you know, don't hold it against me. I'll do my best to make it as smooth as possible, but puzzles, sometimes I spend a little bit longer on puzzles than I would like. So even streaming puzzle experiences aren't my favorite thing to do, but this one, aesthetics alone, is was appealing, and you know that drew me to it. And then I experienced a little bit of the demo. It may have been early this year. I'm not certain. Yeah, sometime early this year I went through the demo, not very far, and I really liked it. And I just decided that, hey, you know what, I'd like to actually go through the entire experience, or at least the full game, not the entire game, but the full thing, so I don't get stopped abruptly in the event that I start enjoying myself, you know. But I love the way it looks. And yeah, that really drew me to it. And today, I'm going to share this with you cats for about an hour or so. And, you know, we'll see where it goes from there. We will see where it goes from there. A shout out to all my Caribbean family, you know, who can check out the TV series The Lab Video Game TV in 25 Caribbean countries on Flow One. You can also download the Stream Blue app to watch on the go. Cats in Ontario, you can check out the Lab Video Game TV's gaming news every Thursday at 4 p.m. during the Stage Projects on Ontario's Island Radio 101.3 FM. Anywhere else in the world, you can listen live at cjai.ca. Yeah. I also have a TV series called The Razzie Art Show with Reina. You guys can check that out in 25 Caribbean countries on Flow One and on the Stream Blue app, as well as video on demand Kojiko Ontario. Yeah, so I think that's it for my public service announcements for today. But yeah, it's Echoes from Ciudadela. I'm going to see how far I can reach in this one. And yeah, let's see how it goes. This is 100% first impressions. Yes, I spent about 15 to 20 minutes in the demo, maybe a little bit longer, but I didn't get very far. So for the actual full release, we're gonna call this one a first impression stream. Let me just see if I can. I have yet to figure out how to, without the use of 3 monitors, how to effectively monitor my chats on TikTok. If someone leaves a comment and I do not respond, I guarantee you I'm not ignoring you guys. I just can't see the TikTok chats at the same time as hold on, maybe I can. Maybe if I do this. This isn't ideal, but maybe if I do that. Alright, let me just check my levels one more time. The mic is good. The game audio looks like it should be good. Alright, so I can just go back and forth. For now, I'll leave it on. My TikTok chats. Alright. Echoes from Ciudadela. Brand new game. Let me turn this down and put the headphones on just in case there's gonna be an echo. We don't want that.
Hey Mom, it's me. Just wanted to let you know that I made it. Tomorrow I'll head up the mountain and scatter his ashes. I don't know why I'm even doing this. We barely saw each other, but I guess the dying wish must be fulfilled. Anyway, I'll let you know when I'm heading there.
Alright, straight into it then, eh? Yeah, I absolutely love these visuals. Hold on. Alright, I can work with this. Absolutely love the way this looks, man.
Closed. Where would I leave a spare key?
Well, we're gonna find that out real soon now, aren't we? You know, I would go with the whole cliche of looking under the rock at the front door. And that may be very well where it is, but, you know, it seems so silly. It's just one of those tropes from movies, but come on, does anybody really do that? I mean, how ridiculous can that be? Especially since it's been in movies for such a long time. Like, that's like an invitation to a criminal. What kind of person would leave the keys to their house under the rock or under a flower pot right by the entrance? You tell me you can't think of a smarter place to leave your spare key? Hey, Yannick Morin, thank you for joining. Stick around, stay a while. Just pass through for a second. It's all appreciated. Look for the main door key. That's right. Okay. Okay, if this is the main door key. Okay, come on. Hold on. If that's the main door key, I'm just going to go right ahead and say that's even worse than leaving it under a rock. That's just stupid. But alright, fine. That wasn't even hidden. But okay, fine. That's worse than leaving it under a rock at the front door. You know, you may as well leave it in the lock. Just leave it right there in the door then. You know what I'm saying? There we go.
I should turn on the generator before it gets darker.
Let's just turn the subtitles off. Subtitles. Alright, forget it. Okay, generator. Find the generator to restore power to the house. Generator would be out back, right? Or if you have a basement. Which, you know, it's not healthy to have the generator in the house, so I'm gonna just go right ahead and say it's out back. See, this would be a nice place to keep the generator somewhere within this general area, but no. Alright, fine. I don't think this house has a basement. It may very well have a basement, but um okay. Maybe it's not close by then. Maybe it's not like as close as I thought. Oh, there you go. Maybe that's a generator right there. And that's even a better place to have your Jenny. That's one hell of a generator as well. For this one house in the middle of nowhere. If it is indeed the generator. What's the problem? This is not... Okay. I kind of thought this was a generator though. Really? Okay. This has to be the generator. Okay, I guess it's not. Looked like the generator. Okay. That has to be the generator. That has to be the... You see, I'm not saying... Oh, hold on, there's another key. How do I see my inventory? What's that? What is that? Okay. I'm not sure what that key was for, but I guess I'll figure it out. Hold on, did I turn the music off somehow? Did I? Huh. Oh. Let me just see something. Yeah, it just got really quiet. You see, that's kind of weird because, you know, it'd have been nice, or maybe I missed it, but if it said when I, you know, approached the box and pressed X that, you know, it needs a key, but it didn't. I guess they're saying figure it out, but okay. Yeah, I guess not everything has to be spelled out. Okay, so you want the top one to be at 3. I think that's where it is. That's at 3. And then the one beside it, well, not really 3, but yeah. 1, 2, 3 over there. How do we go over? No. How do we... Oh. No, hold on now. Hold on. Okay, I wasn't paying attention. Switch downward, move right, hold X to end interaction, switch upward. Okay, how? Hold on. Okay, Down. Okay. It's kind of weird because the same D-pad that you use to move the switches is the same D-pad you have to use to change which switch you're actually interacting with. So it was kind of weird. But apparently up and down changes the panel or the switch that you're working with, and then left or right moves it up and down a couple of notches. Alright. But it's not doing it now. Okay, but it's not. If right carries it to the right, why doesn't left carry it to the left? Alright, that's kind of weird. Developers, I'm just gonna tell you that's kind of weird. Like the thumbstick moves it as well. Sometimes the directional pad will move it to the right. The directional pad won't move it to the left. The thumbstick will move it either left or right. That's just weird. Come on, guys. That's just fucking weird. Alright. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Hold on. Hold on. 1. One. I'm just gonna go right ahead and say that this is one convoluted generator system. Like, I'm no generator expert, but this seems like a lot of bullshit to go through to turn on a generator. I'm just saying. Okay. The notches. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. See, I'm not certain how to deal with the one with the space between it though. Like, what does... Okay. Let's see that means... One, two... Fuck. Okay. Alright. Okay, let me see if I can just explain my current frustration with what's going on here. In order to move the switches, notches on the panel, this is really stupid. I'm not knocking the game. I'm just saying this in particular, this is just too early to be knocking the game. This doesn't mean it's a bad game. Don't get me wrong. Don't let my impatience, don't misinterpret my mission, my impatience. But you got 6 switch boxes, let's call them that. 6 switch boxes in the panel. In order to move a notch on each switch box, you use both the directional, the D-pad, and the thumbstick, the left thumbstick. The left thumb moving up or down is what moves you between each one. To move a notch, if you do the directional pad, it does that to the right. But if you attempt to go back to the left, directional pad does nothing. In order to go back to the left, you have to now use a thumbstick. The same thumbstick you use to move switching between switch boxes. Why does the directional pad move it to the right, but it doesn't move it to the left? That's fucking weird. The thumbstick can move it to the right or the left. But sometimes it switches between boxes. And this one moves it in smaller increments. The thumbstick moves it in smaller increments. The directional pad moves it like that. That's kind of annoying, but fine. Let's see. Let me go back to figuring out this diagram. 3 notches. So that's left. Okay, this is stupid too. Okay, let's say 3. That's correct. Let's move on. Then 3 this way. So 3, 3. No. Don't. What the fuck am I supposed to do here? Okay, I have another idea, because that doesn't make any sense. Okay, now let's go back over here. Let's say this one means that. And then this one means all the way there. And then this one means in the middle. In the middle. Boom. And then this one means that. And then this one, yeah, that looks about right. And then this one means over there. Ah, that actually worked.
Hopefully the soul crap manages to get me through the night.
That actually worked. All right. All right. They started with the puzzles real early. Real early. And this is just a tutorial. Not looking too promising for me at all. And by that I mean I just am not that good with puzzle experiences. So, yeah. Not knocking the game, just making it clear that explore the rest of the house. That I'm not one of those streamers who is just gonna breeze through the puzzles, you know. So the 4 numbers. 1 number is by the logs outside, 1 is by the window, 1 is by the pot, and 1 is by the radio. Is that what this guy is saying? Like sometimes, you know, you're playing these puzzle games and you have to wonder, like, you know, like who would do something like this? You know what I'm saying? Paranoid much? Like, why the Like, why would somebody take the time to? Anyway, let's go by the logs outside and see if my theory is correct. Is there a number by the logs that I need to see? Or is it the amount of logs? No? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 logs? No, there are more logs. So it's not necessarily that. Let's just see if he left a clue by the logs, though. Like, you know, being impatient or not being impatient is irrelevant. I'm just being honest with you that if I was going to, it's a heavily story driven, narrative driven experience, by the way. I'm just saying that if I drove to this cabin and this is what I stumbled upon, all these puzzles, and I just take that as a message. And I just hop back into my van and I just get the fuck out because this is ridiculous. Let's just be real here. This is fucking ridiculous. I just leave. It's not worth it. The juice ain't worth the squeeze. I just fucking leave. But alright. So there's nothing by the logs. Let's check the stove. The kettle. Is there anything here? Okay, well, okay. You could say there are 3 logs in the picture. There are 4 panes of glass in the window. Wow, 1 pot. Maybe I'm taking this too seriously. I'm just saying that if I was in this position and I came to this cabin and I found all this convoluted bullshit just to turn on a generator, and then I just leave. I just fucking leave. But yeah, I get it. It's just a game. I get it. It's just a fucking game. I'm just saying though that if I were the one designing a video game, because I started doing things like making a television show based on video games from 2003, because although I appreciated the video game shows that I saw on television at that time with Adam Sessler and G4 TV and whatnot, I appreciated it. I just figured, you know what? There are things that I would do differently. So instead of complaining about it, I made my own. I make independent films. I see silly things in horror movies that I didn't really think made any sense, so I made my own. And that's what I do. If I see something that I like, but I don't really appreciate the way it was made, or I see where there's room for improvement, instead of bashing the creator, or just complaining, if it's that important to me, I'll just make my own. My point for saying this is, if one day I got up and decided to develop a video game, and it was a puzzle game, like this one here, there are certain things I just wouldn't do. Like, if there are puzzles, the puzzles have to make sense. Like, why? Like, is that how a generator works? I mean, seriously, is that how a generator works? Like, why do I have to go through all that shit to... It's just... I get it, it's a video game, but there still has to be some rhyme and reason and logic and method to the madness before I just start throwing up random puzzles that make no fucking sense. Like, if you're gonna leave the cabin like this, and you're gonna put a fucking combination lock on it, you don't want anybody to go in there, but yet still you leave clues as to how to go. You see, either you want me to fucking go into the cupboard or not. Make your mind up, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. If I was making a video game, certain things couldn't happen. Like, if I'm making a horror movie, you'd never see a scene where somebody is chasing somebody in a house downstairs, and instead of going through the fucking front door, you go upstairs and hide under a bed. I would never put that in a movie. That's embarrassing. I wonder if the directors who do this stuff are, like, retarded. Anyway. Like, if I made a movie like that and had a scene like that in the movie, it's like that's like telling people that I'm an idiot. Like, why would you do that? How many times have you been watching a movie and there are these why the would you do that moments? Alright, let's give it a shot. Let's say it's 3 logs, 4 pins, 1 pot, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 buttons. Let's just go with that. I have nothing to lose. Couldn't you have just left the fucking picture up? 3 logs, 4 window panes, 1 pot. How many buttons did I say? 7? That didn't work. 3, 4, 1, 1, 2, 3, 7. Okay, that didn't work. It should have though. The pot is in 2 different parts, maybe. Okay, let's give that a shot. No, so 3, 4, 2, 7 is not the combination. Alright. And this doesn't open, okay. And there's nothing in these drawers, right? Could it be saying 4 burners on the stove? No? Maybe? 4 burners on the stove. That's just so convoluted though. It's like, why? That's what I'm saying. I'd create a video game and, I create the video game so you wouldn't have to ever be asking yourself questions like, why would somebody do that? I mean, yeah, because I can't figure out why you would do it doesn't make it stupid. It just means I can't figure out why you would do it. But there's some really illogical things sometimes in these games that just seem to me, they feel like manufactured hardship. Like, this didn't have to happen. This is just because you're really padding the difficulty. And because you say you made a puzzle experience, you have to make it unreasonably puzzling. Every single puzzle would have to have some kind of rhyme or reason to it. Like, why would I go through all this trouble? I mean, even where the key was, it just doesn't make any sense. Alright, fuck. Okay. The combination has to be just right here on this piece of paper, right here. It's still just 3, 4. The pot is just 1 pot though, you know what I'm saying? The buttons... 7 buttons. That should have been it. That should have been it. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's give that a shot. It's not that either. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1 radio, 1 pot. Okay, let's give that a shot. Can't hurt. 1 radio, 1 pot. Nope. It's not that either. Would the 4th log count? Nope. Alright, I'll check the window and see if there is actually something. There's no pot though, so that doesn't. There really is no. Well, there is I guess, but you can't interact with the pot. 4 pots? Is that what you're saying? How many pot? Okay, it can't be though, because if I'm supposed to count the logs, there's a whole lot of. Okay, hold on. Okay, I have an idea. There are 4 pots. Does the kettle count as a pot? Maybe. Maybe. Can't hurt. Let me give it a shot. How many pots are in the house? Let's say the kettle is a pot. Let's leave that as 5. Fine? Hold on. How many windows are in the house? 1. 2. Is there one in the bathroom? Yeah, I think so. 3. 4. 5. 6. 6 windows. Okay. Still kind of stupid. Okay, 6 windows. It can't hurt. 6 windows. Let's give it a shot. 6 windows. Okay. How many log piles are outside? Okay, fine. Jesus Christ. 1, 2, 3. That's it, right? No more log piles. 3. This is ridiculous, but okay. Actually, that's right. Fuck. So there, 3 piles, 6 windows, 4 pots. How many radios? Okay, hold on. Because I don't think I saw a radio, but okay. I don't think I saw any radios in this house. But let's be thorough. If there are no radios, I'll put it at 0. I still feel kind of silly doing this, but hey, maybe the fact that I can't solve the puzzle in itself is silly, so. Oh, there's a radio actually. Huh, okay. Fine. So there's 1 radio in the house. Still feels kind of silly, still feels kind of juvenile, but okay. 1 radio in the house. 4 pots. No, that's a load of shit. None of that shit worked. Oh, fuck. 3 piles of wood. 6 windows. 4 pots. 1 radio. That did not work. Shit. Okay, fine. The fact that there are all these objects in the drawing actually exist, I'm going to have to say there has to be some relevance between the drawing and these items. That's not a pot, is it? Has to be. So I still think a kettle is a pot, but fine. That is not a pot. God, I feel fucking stupid doing this. You can't interact with the objects. There are no numbers by the objects, right? There are no numbers, no. Fuck. And this is just a tutorial. Jesus Christ, this is just a tutorial. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. See, it'd be really great if I could just get back in the van and just leave. I really would. I really would just leave. Okay, but that's not an option. What the hell else could it possibly mean? Okay, hold on. Okay, 2 windows. 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 windows. Why isn't that it? What the hell am I missing? It has to be the numbers right there, right? There are 3 piles. Okay, let's see. It can't. Maybe it's down there. Okay, fine. 3. This just can't be though. 3, 6, 4. No, it's not. 6 windows. 3 piles of wood. 1 radio and 4 pots. Okay, let's go back up here. 3, 4, 1. 3 piles of wood, 6 windows, 4 pots, 1 radio. There were 7 buttons on the radio. That's not what we're talking about, right? No. Shit. Oh shit. The worst part about these puzzles is that when you finally get it, you know, you feel like shit, it was there the entire time. You have this moment like, why didn't I think of that? Alright, there's nothing else in this house that I can interact with. Fuck. What the fuck? Explore the rest of the house. Windows, 4 pots, 1 radio. What the hell else could it? See, I've considered the fact that maybe there's a number on each of these things, but I don't see any numbers. So my best bet was to just add them all up. That's not a number, is it? No, it's not. That doesn't look like a number to me, no. See if there's a number on a window, I could say, well, there's a number on the radio, there's no number on the radio. There's no number anywhere around it. I can't lift it. There's no number by the pots. Best I can come up with is count each item. And that didn't work, so shit. Yeah, this is... You know, the worst part about all of this is that, you know, I end the stream and I go look at a walkthrough, and the answer was just so almost obvious. This is kind of frustrating. I mean, I actually wanted to go further. It seemed like the kind of game I'd like to explore. I'm not great on puzzles, but I didn't think I was this bad. And I'm going through this VR game called Closer Look VR by a Nigerian developer. And it also is puzzle based, but you know, while the puzzles are a little bit impractical, you know, where the puzzles are and why the puzzles are there, it's impractical in my opinion. You know, I'm still able to chip away, you know, and get through it. You know, and I used to do this puzzle shit back in the days, in my earlier days of gaming, you know, Tomb Raider on the Saturn and all these Resident Evil titles, and I gave it a break. I decided, you know, I want to take it for a spin again. But yeah, this, and I think there's a certain amount of pressure whenever, you know, well, pressure for me when you know that there are people watching. So I personally wouldn't want to be watching somebody fumble about like this for an hour in the fucking tutorial. You know, this is just a tutorial, for God's sakes. It's just a fucking tutorial. What the fuck? There are 4 pots, 6 windows, 1 radio, 3 piles of logs. 5 pots if you count the kettle. Is there a pot with food in it? because I can't open any of them to look. Oh, fuck. What else could this mean? Four things. It says up. Fuck, this is stupid. He says explore the rest of the house. There's nothing else I can do. So it must be this puzzle right here. For some reason or the other, the bathroom door does not open. So I can't. I mean, it's open. But I can't go any further. So there's nothing in the bathroom for me to do. Oh, shit. This is why I do not like streaming puzzle games. The other day, a viewer on TikTok asked me if I do RPGs. And while some RPGs don't really have hard puzzles like Skyrim, because RPGs aren't necessarily puzzle experiences, you know, I stream these fast action games like Survivor likes and some shoot 'em ups and stuff like that because, you know, I think it's better for streaming. Like, who wants to watch this shit? I mean, if I'm just breezing through the puzzles like that brother on YouTube called CJU, then that's worth watching. But shit, like, I've been doing this for at least a fucking hour. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any fucking sense. Logs. I saw the logs. There are 3 piles of logs outside. I even toyed with the fact that maybe I missed a log pile and I just went through it. Windows. There's six windows. 6 sets of windows, right? 4 pots. 1 fucking radio. How can that not be the combination? I toyed with the fact that maybe it's not the numbers at the top, it's the numbers at the bottom. It didn't work there either. It shouldn't be the numbers at the bottom though. It should be this. If that was the problem, then I'd be really pissed. Oh, fuck. Let's say it's the bottom one. 3. I did this already, but fine. 3 log piles. 6 windows. 4 pots. 1 radio. Nothing. So let's say it's still the numbers at the bottom. And let's say it's 5 pots. Let's say I miscounted and there are actually 7 windows. Let's say I miscounted and there's 4. No. There's 6 fucking windows, man. And there are 4 fucking. Oh, shit. This is annoying. This is really fucking annoying. 3. You see, even if I were to crack this puzzle right now, it tells me something. That this experience here is not for me. It's not. Because if this is just a fucking tutorial, if this is just a fucking tutorial, man, like, okay, what I would do is go outside and grab the fucking axe and break the lock. Or go the fuck home. One might argue that I take these video game things a little bit too serious and it's just a game and it's just a this, it's just a movie, and But no, you play video games for the immersion. You know what I'm saying? To be in this other reality, this virtual reality. And I'd always ask myself, like, why would I do this? In a real life situation, why would I do this? Or what would I do in this situation? Like when you're in those Resident Evil games and many games like Resident Evil where you come upon a locked door. And I mean, I'm not saying you just stepped into somebody's home. They said home invasion. I'm talking about the apocalypse, the end of the world, or you're in a war-torn country and you're killing people anyway. And you stumble upon a locked door. And then the protagonist proceeds to go look for a key for the fucking door. Mind you, he has an automatic rifle in his hand, a shotgun. He has two perfectly capable legs. He could kick the door in. But no, instead of kicking the door in, he goes and looks for a key. Like, none of that shit makes any fucking sense. And those are little things in video games that lurk me. And, I'll never just simply say, oh, it's just a video game. And even if I say that, it doesn't make it right. You know what I'm saying? Stupid shit is stupid shit. Maybe I'm just getting irritated because I can't figure this puzzle out. Maybe that's what it is. But either way, I'm just saying, fuck. Oh, shit. Like, there's an axe. I'd take the axe and I'd go inside and I'd break the lock. And if I thought to myself, I think the actual premise of the story is that this dude's father is dead. And so he came to the cabin to find some closure or something like that. And if that was the case, that means the dad ain't gonna mind you breaking the lock, right? Just break the fucking lock and move on with the game, for the love of God. Come on, man. Like, I don't know what else to do here. The instructions say explore the rest of the house. It's just a little cabin, a little one-bedroom cabin. There's nothing else to do. I can't interact with any of the items in the house. Like, two windows, right? 3. Is there something I can do here? No. Is there a number under the window? Is there a number under the window? Is there a number I'm missing? Oh, fuck. No, that's 3 windows. There's no number written anywhere. 4 windows. And that's 5, and there's no numbers there either. And that one makes 6. So you see, I'd say I'd never stream a puzzle game again, but like I said, I'm not supposed to be this bad at puzzle games. What is that? What the fuck is that? I've streamed, I've had easier times with puzzle games before. Like I said, I'm going through Closer Look VR for a review, and there was this one spot that kind of pissed me off. But I'm chipping away, I've played harder puzzle games before. I mean, it's just this, like, what the hell am I doing wrong? After this stream, this miserable, embarrassing stream, I'm gonna look at a walkthrough just to see what it is that I missed. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck could I possibly be doing wrong? Guy can't crouch. This is bad. This is really bad. What the hell am I missing? It has to be that stupid puzzle. It must be that I need to open that lock to progress. It's one radio. I can't interact with the radio. The radio has no numbers on it, so hold on. Hold on. Hold on a second. It can't be the other way around. Like from least to most. That's kind of fucking. Why would that work though? Why? That's fucking crazy. One radio. Um, 4 pots. Why though? One radio, 4 pots. No. One radio, 3 log piles. One radio, 3 log piles, 4 pots, and 6 windows. Yeah, that didn't work either. Let's put it down here. 1, 3, 4, 6. 1. Okay. Let me think. Okay, I guess at some point, you have to just concede to the fact that, you have failed. No matter how stubborn I am, no matter how determined I am, I'm just gonna have to fucking admit to fucking defeat because I don't know what the fuck else to do. This is fucking crazy. Or maybe I'm just having a really bad day. Maybe the answer is right there in front of me and the fuck, this is just a tutorial. Yes, I am pissed. I'm quite upset. But I will show restraint, I won't say this is a shitty game. I won't say anything bad about this experience because, just because I can't figure it out doesn't mean it's a bad game. It just means I suck at it, that's all. But I don't think this has ever happened to me before, where I'm in the tutorial. I'm in the fucking tutorial. For over an hour. It's like it says here, I've been streaming for an hour and 23 minutes. I've been in the fucking tutorial for an hour and 23 minutes. And this is the fucking tutorial. Now, like I said, I'm not going to go back on my word. I'm not going to say this is a shitty experience simply because I can't figure it out. But I will say, though, that based on my awareness of what tutorial means, it's supposed to be teaching you something. I'm not asking you to hold my hand. But this is one very vague tutorial. Like, the entire time they call this a tutorial, but it hasn't taught me anything. I guess everything in life is a lesson, whether it's a win or a loss. It doesn't really matter whether you like it or not. There's a lesson in everything. And maybe I'm just, who knows, maybe I'm just a terrible fucking student, but it is supposed to be a tutorial, and I'm not certain for the past hour if I've had any fucking explanations as to how to do anything. I mean, I had to figure out that retarded generator, that convoluted fucking generator by myself. This isn't much of a tutorial, though, is it? What the where are the instructions? What am I missing? Like, fine. The puzzle with the lock is clearly above me. It's clearly above my pay grade. I suck at it. I get that. It's a fucking tutorial, though. This isn't like an exam. So, where are the instructions in this tutorial? I haven't gotten one fucking instructions. I mean, you mean a prompt to press X to open a door? No, what the fuck? Throw me a fucking bone, man. I mean, like I'm saying, this experience hasn't released yet. It's gonna be releasing on Steam later on. I think it's like the 21st or 23rd. I have to look back at my notes. But it releases later on this month on Steam. And, it may very well get glowing reviews, and all the brainiacs out there who can breeze through puzzle experiences 100 times better than I can are probably going to say, it's probably going to get overwhelmingly positive ratings on Steam. Who's to tell? I mean, I can't tell because I can't get any further, and a really hard tutorial isn't really indicative of a game's overall quality. It bothers me that the tutorial is just fucking vague and obtuse, but I'm not gonna. You could still get. I mean, shit. Maybe the answer is so clear that when I'm done here, I could look for a walkthrough or something. I'm not certain if they're I don't think that people should be putting up walkthroughs of games that haven't been released yet, though. But there's no embargo, so maybe there is. And I'm just saying, I may look and it may be just that it may have been that simple to figure it out, and I just completely missed out. And others who figured it out in a second reached further in the game because the trailer looks great. The voice acting is so far so good. It just looks promising. I don't have to itemize all the things about it that looks okay so far. It's just a promising thing. That's why I decided to stream it in the first place. Blindly. I didn't do a warm-up. I mean, if I did do a warm-up, we wouldn't be here right now. This is 100% first impressions. I didn't even get this far in the demo. I just liked how it looked and said, hey, you know what, I'm going to wait for the full release. But others could like it, and it could get great reviews. So I could be wrong, but personally, it just could have been a little bit clearer. Like, what the fuck is this? What am I missing? Like, what does this mean? What could this possibly mean other than the amount of log piles, the amount of windows, the amount of pots, the amount of radios? Because the chart here says it's 4 things, 4 numbers for the lock. So, what else could these 4 things mean? If you go outside, you're going to see 4 piles of logs. That's for 4 piles of logs. I consider that maybe it was the beams that was leaned up against the house. There are 4 of those. Well, there are 3 piles of logs, 4 beams. None of that worked. How many windows? 6. I said maybe I miscounted. I also gave 7 a shot. 6 windows. That the second number isn't 6. How many pots in the house? 4. If you count the kettle, it's 5. If you're gonna say, well, this is indicative of a pot that has food in it, there are no pots with food in it. So that'd be 0. I gave that a shot as well. How many radios are in the house? 1. So I figured it would be 3, 6, 4, 1. That didn't work. 3651 didn't work. 3601 didn't work. The numbers, the amount of numbers or buttons on the radio, knobs, 6 or 7, depending on what you want to call it. That didn't work either. Jesus, like, I don't want to play this anymore. But it just feels so fucking ridiculous that I can't even get past the tutorial. Maybe it's my ego. Pride. But, fuck. I also explored the fact that maybe the numbers, I'm setting it at the wrong numbers. Maybe it's the ones at the bottom in blue. And it very well maybe. But okay, let's just say for argument's sake once again, I was using the wrong numbers. Because these numbers down here are blue. They really are blue. They really are. No, it's not that. It's not that because the one on's on. I just figured it would be the higher ones. 3, 6, 8, 1. Put it at the bottom. 3. I did this already, but I'll give it a shot again. 3, 6, 8, 1. 3 log piles, 6 windows. Why is it? What are you talking about 8 though, Wayne? How does it become 8? The pots are 4 pots, right? 3, 6, 4, 1. 3 log piles, 6 sets of windows, 4 pots, and 1 radio. Let's say it was 5 pots then. Still not that. So yeah, it's really kind of frustrating. I mean, I'm not peeved maybe. I mean, it's not that important for me to get upset about it. You know, you don't get stressed about silly shit, you know, little things. You don't allow your ego to get the best of you, you know what I'm saying? Getting pissed because I can't figure out a video game. At the end of the day, it's not that serious, but, you know, it does kind of bother me, though. And I'm going to have to give up on this one because I couldn't pass the fucking tutorial. What the fuck am I missing? What am I missing? There's nowhere else in the house for me to look. There's nothing else in here. I can't interact with anything else. Oh. You see, even when I went to the generator and it needed a key, this being the tutorial, it didn't even tell me it needed a key. I just kind of stumbled onto the key. And come to think of it, why did I need to turn the generator on in the first place? What did it give power to? Why did I need... Oh, the lights. Oh, okay. Alright. Okay. Let's see. Okay, fine. Okay. That's it. Um, yeah, that's it. That's it. I'll concede to defeat. I'm not comfortable with this at all. I'm sure there's something that I'm doing wrong. I'm not certain what the hell that is, but yeah, this is a sad one. This is a sad one. I've been at this stream for an hour and 41 minutes, and I'm just in the so-called tutorial, and the tutorial hasn't taught me anything other than the fact that I cannot solve this basic combination puzzle. Out of curiosity, I'll actually watch a walkthrough to see what it is that I did wrong. But I'm not returning to this. Nah, it rubbed me the wrong way. Again, I'm throwing no shade at the actual experience. It's just not for me. I got stumped in the tutorial, couldn't get any further. I'm certain there are like thousands of other people just breezing through this, and they figured out the combination for the lock and they saw what they were supposed to do, but I didn't, and I totally accept defeat. Until next time, though, this has been one sad and unentertaining round of Select Live here on the Lab Video Game TV Live, where our game is never over. Yeah, you can tell by the sound of my voice I'm not thrilled about this one at all. It's one of them things. Until the next stream, I guess I'm out.